Hello everyone. I am here from Denver as usual, and I'm going to, of course, as I always do, take a moment to share this video on my own page so that people can find it either on the Ensoma page or on my own. I actually tried to pre-share it today. Actually, it looks like it's working. Great. So I don't even need to do that. Improving all the time. So I actually have a visitor with me today. That's my business partner, Mark. So he will say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, Mark.
How you doing?
So if you hear any, oh, that's kind of cool. Facebook just popped up and said, do you want to tag Mark Strand in this video? Let's tag Mark in this video. So if you hear any noises in the background, that's probably what you hear, or the usual Denver buses and construction and all that good stuff. So, hi, Patty. It's good to see you. I love seeing everybody's names pop up as people are watching. And I am in my festive attire today because I'm, after work this afternoon, going to the 12 Pubs of Christmas pub crawl. And actually, Mark, will you bring me the candy cane? And I've put together, as most of you know, I love hockey, so I have put together a festive hockey stick candy cane that I'll be attaching some bells on to, thanks Mark, to keep us all moving along in our pub crawl this evening. So I'm excited to do that, and a special thanks to my friend Colette for organizing the 12 Pubs of Christmas. So I will not be going live from that later because, well, I'll just be full of festive cheer. Let's leave it at that. So today, thank you for joining me, and hi John, my cousin, that's awesome, and my friend Mike from Denver. So hi everybody who's joined, and I really enjoy seeing everyone's names pop up as I'm going through my intro and through my topics. So I do notice, and even if I don't mention you by name, it means a lot to me. I do this little bit of a welcome intro each time, so people get a chance to jump on right in case they're a few minutes late. So when I actually post the video after the fact, I will tag it so you can see exactly when the relevant topic began. If you don't know who I am, I have over 20 years of industry experience in corporate behavior change, and really enjoyed seeing the changes and the improvements that it helped people make in their lives. So I decided that I wanted to bring that experience and those thoughts directly to folks, and that inspired me to start doing these Facebook Live videos. And I try to give each week, small, intelligent, actionable ways that you can change your lives or perhaps someone else's to make things and hopefully the world a little bit better. I had started a series before the holidays about ego states. I will come back to that eventually, but I'm going to kind of leave that off during the holiday season and focus on some topics that I think are more important to get you through the holidays and hopefully have you enjoy them and stay sane and stay connected to the real reason that holidays and sharing things with each other are important. Hi to John and Andy and Andrea. Hello, hello. So today's topic is about too many toys. And I read this great study that was out of the University of Toledo in Ohio, my birthplace. Props to Ohio, although there's a reason I don't live there anymore. But still, yay, Ohio. And what they did was they took 36 toddlers and brought them into a room for half an hour. And they split this into two different groups, and one of the groups of toddlers had 4 toys, and the other group had 16 toys. And they watched these, they just let the kids play and do what they wanted, didn't really give them any instruction. And what they found was that the group with the 4 toys was much more creative, and not only that, but they played with each toy for twice as long, and they came up with more uses for those toys, so they were actually learning and teaching themselves more. And as time went on, they would lengthen and expand on the games that they came up with as well. So it was fascinating, and not that they just were looking and playing longer with this toy, but having fewer toys expanded their ways of thinking. And that was something that was a little bit unexpected. I mean, they did think that these toddlers would have a better focus with fewer distractions, but it was surprising the extent to which having fewer things to play with really evolved their way of thinking and creating games. So that's something I have thought about in the past as I was working with my development teams back at my former company, that yes, there's this idea of brainstorming and there's no bad ideas and everybody throws things out there and so on and so forth, but where we would be most effective was when we would do the opposite and really give ourselves a lot of boundaries and try to work in a very constricted manner. And that's why, sometimes that can be constraints on time, and you want to say, well, you have 2 minutes to come up with a solution to this particular specific element of a problem. So that's something to think about in your own problem-solving skills, and is perhaps setting some constrictive boundaries when you're doing either problem solving or even a project. So I have a few things in my house that I need to revisit and organize, and they're kind of daunting tasks. So I'm going to, for example, I have a kitchen drawer that has gotten a little bit overfull. But rather than even say I'm going to organize that whole drawer, I think I'm going to just take out one piece of it or one type of items and focus on going through those. So how can you find ways in your own life and your own problem solving to really narrow and reduce the field of what you're doing? So back to this for a minute about with the children. The other toys present in the group that had 16 toys created a great external distraction. And so then they decided to do another study, a follow-up study, to assess how many toys children typically have. And I thought this was astounding. This particular group was focused on the UK and Britons, and the Britons typically spent more than $3 billion a year on toys, so that's not that surprising. But this number, the survey they took showed that the typical child owns 238 toys. That's a lot. That's a lot of space. That's a lot of things to break. That's a lot of things to step on. And out of having 238 toys, they usually play with about 12. So as you're buying your holiday gifts and thinking about what to get your friends, and this was obviously for more younger children, toddlers and around teenagers and below, but it certainly applies to me. I know that the more stuff I have, I can feel cluttered, I can feel distracted, and there really only are a few things at any given point in my life that I am really focused on, that bring me joy, that bring me focus when I'm using them. And experiences and spending time with friends is far more valuable to me than having a shiny new thing. It is fun in that initial moment. Ooh, new thing to play with, new experience, but by interacting with a new item. But there are ways to do that without actually having to own it. Whether it's borrowing things or going to a friend's house and playing with their toys. The last thing I want to mention was a 1990s study that was done in Germany. And in Munich, they went around in this, sorry, but this sounds like a very German idea for a study. They went around to Munich nurseries and took the toys away. And Mark's nodding over there too. He's like, yeah, that seems about right. But what was really interesting after they took these toys away was they found that and they took the toys away for 3 months. That was the planned duration. And it was only took a couple weeks for the children in these nurseries to adjust their habits, their style of play. So while they were initially a little bit upset and where's my favorite toy, they eventually became more creative, more social, learned to get along with each other better, and created bonds in far different ways than if there had been toys for them to focus on. Now, I don't know if they took away every single toy or most of them. It didn't go into that much depth in the articles I was reading about this, but I just find that so fascinating. And one of my pet peeves for anyone who's ever been out to a restaurant or a bar with me is everywhere, at least around Denver, seems to have TVs, and they're always on, and they're always a distraction, and it's usually crap that's on the TV, infomercials, or not like the big exciting game that everybody's been waiting to watch or something. So I really do struggle myself with this idea of too many toys and distractions. So at least when I have people over my house, I am going to, particularly this season, make a major focused effort to remove distractions, to create an environment that encourages people to mingle with each other. I really like doing a thing when I have parties and I give people name tags and I have them write one true thing and one made up thing about themselves. So that gives a prompt for people who don't know each other necessarily to start a conversation. So I'm going to be doing a lot of thinking myself about how to reduce clutter, noise, throughout the holiday season, at least in the areas that I can control. If you have your own ideas or things that you've tried in the past that have worked well for you, gosh, I would really love to hear what those are. Leave them in the comments, send me a private message, however you want to communicate with me. I would love to hear your thoughts on these topics and things that you may be trying on your own and whether they're working or not working. I'm also going to, my too many toys is usually my apps on my iPad, my games, so I'm going to try to declutter some of that from my life as well. And that's it for today's topic. I want to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter, especially I know we're all pressed for time, in particular during the holiday season. So if you're interested in talking to me at all about my geek coaching that I do for people with sort of analytical mindsets and jobs maybe in the STEM industry, please reach out to me. I'll put a link in the comments about how you can schedule time with me. I also do public speaking, so if you know of any organizations that might appreciate something I have to add, I would love for you to let me know who they are or recommend me to them. I truly enjoy getting out there and talking about the different aspects of psychology that we can use to make our own lives better and kind of trick our brains a little bit into hopefully leading a happier, authentic, more joyful life. You have certainly made my day better by watching this and hopefully spreading some of the good influence that you have over others and try to make your own day better as well. Thank you so much, and goodbye from Denver.